Morning, chat. I have to sort out a few things. I don't know how stream quality is gonna be. Uh, Genuinely, not a clue. Um, YOLO. It is enhanced broadcasting, so we'll see how that goes. Wait, Discord is having a. Wait, why? It sucks. I can't see what I'm uploading at anymore. I had to restart. Hold on. I don't think. Hey, Giant. I hope you're doing well. Alright, we need tasers. I think we're good. Okay. A little sick. When am I not fucking sick at this point? Two 10:41 in the actives.
Good morning, Rose. Are you just waking up, or?
A firm.
Richard's awake out of the ICU. He's meeting me right now at MRPD to give a statement about what happened to him.
A firm. Hello.
Hi, Matt.
What's going on?
Um, Richard's awake.
But what's going on?
Hold on. I'm sorry. I know the last conversation we had was shitty, and now I have to have another shitty conversation with you. So there was some brain damage from the hypoxia, lack of oxygen. Other than that, he's able to walk, he's able to talk, he remembers everything. There's been no issues like that. He is having some trouble with his speech, but I think with some time and some therapy, he should be fine. I brought him home from the hospital, but then he asked me to leave. So he is out driving around by himself. Ziggy and I were following him because he should not be by himself, and apparently he called the police. So I think he hates me. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Why would he hate you?
Sorry. Well, given our last conversation, it didn't go very well. I tried to explain to him where I was coming from in that conversation because I didn't really get a chance to explain myself, and he just asked me to leave. So
Okay, all right. I'm gonna speak to Richard and
okay,
try to
yeah.
figure everything out.
It's He he thinks I'm evil. I think I tried to explain that. Sorry, I promised myself I would cry. I'm sorry. Okay. I tried to explain to him that the person that I was before the two of you became family, I'm not that person anymore because of the love and support that y'all gave me. And you helped shape me into a better person.
Well, the reality here is you don't have to explain that to me because I wasn't the one upset.
I know, but I feel like I need to because you're gonna
You
hear some
don't.
things and I don't.
You don't. You don't.
I wasn't trying to justify what she did. I was just
Eda,
trying to say.
I don't want to know anything about Rue.
But that's why he's
Nothing.
upset. He thinks that I'm like
Eda,
her.
you either respect this boundary or end the call.
No, I understand. I understand. I'm
Because it's
sorry.
putting me in an incredibly awkward position, having been the person who responded to that call.
I wasn't aware of that. I'm sorry.
I'm
I
gonna go speak to
apologize.
Richard.
Okay.
And I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Good morning.
It's not a good morning.
Morning.
Bad morning.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, what's wrong?
Is Richard here?
Obvious. Not yet. He said he'd be here in a couple minutes. Oh, he's calling me now. Hello. Oh, there you are. Yeah. Hey, you wanna come in here?
Hey, honey.
Honey, yeah.
I
Hey.
just got here. Here.
To see you.
It's good to see you as well. Sorry, a little under the weather, but we'll make do. We'll make do. Here, let's
Sick?
a little, nothing major. Here, let's go inside.
Okay. After you.
Go. And then go in the dispatch room.
Sure.
Here.
Actually, could we go somewhere I could sit down? Because,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Here, we can
not too
just go
good on
back
my
right
feet.
out here so you can sit on one of the chairs out here.
Thank
Ahem.
Go ahead and sit on one of the chairs in the corner. Make it
Oh,
easier
sorry.
for you. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
better.
Alrighty, Dark. As best as you can remember, what is your recollection of events that led to you being hospitalized?
Mm. Well, we Sorry. So I can get a glass of water or something. You haven't got a drink, maybe?
Y- do you have anything, Reds?
I
Otherwise,
do.
I've got.
I do.
Okay.
Thank you. And
Do
we
you need
can do.
food as well? Or?
Could we go somewhere more private? I don't mean to be a pain.
No, you're fine. That's kind of why I wanted to go dispatch room, but we can go. Are you gonna be okay to go upstairs?
Yeah, I can handle
There's
some
a couch.
stairs.
There's a couch upstairs that we could use. That way you can still
Okay.
sit.
Yeah,
That works.
I'm sorry.
No,
Okay.
no need to
No,
apologize.
you are just fine. We can go upstairs. I have to. I would offer to go out even outside of PD, but Madison Bancroft is hunting me, wants to kill me. So.
Yeah.
What? Why?
Because I arrested her that day you saw her in the cells. I made her go $100,000 in debt. Well, I didn't make her go. Her actions made her go, but yeah.
Just shame.
Sky, the craziest thing is, 7 months ago, she was bragging about being filthy rich.
Yeah, sounds like it was all an act.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Just make sure you hold on to the railings
Yeah,
and
I
you can
got it.
lean on
I'll be
Reg
behind
here.
you.
Yeah. We got our couch up here. Is this better for you, Richard?
Yeah, this
Yeah?
will do.
Has that couch always
you.
been there?
It's been there since Max was commissioner, like when he first started being commissioner.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. I've definitely heard and read some statements and stuff about what happened, but I need to hear it from you. What happened, your recollection of it, as best as you can. Take your time.
Okay. It's a little foggy, in places, but the most part, it's okay. Yeah. Um. uh. I'd had a rough day. Yeah, difficult one. And on the same day, I got a weapons license from Sherry down at down God, what's that? I can't think of the place.
City Hall?
Yes, City Hall. Sorry. Yeah. And
So Rhodes doesn't want to
then
interfere at all with this
I
statement.
drove to Sandy.
Dispatch
Bought
214 is
myself
currently
a
chasing
firearm.
2 vehicles at.
Then I went to the Yellow Jack and I drank
What did you just do?
Um. Then I did something stupid, and I drove. Um. I drove down to the city. I was upset. I drove around. Um. I can't really remember much or how long I drove around for, but I think it was a while. Um, tried to call some people, but nobody picked up. Tried calling some more people, but nobody picked up. Um, and after I don't know how long, I ran into that car, the black one, with I don't know for sure, but it sounded like McGregor in. They were at the what's that place called? On Power Street, where you get changed.
The paywall?
The yeah, yeah. I drove up over there and they ran out and spotted me and came out, and I can't remember much about what was said, but they they normally come after me. It's not the first time. So I took off anyway, and they started chasing me. And they'd done it a couple of days prior anyway. Anyway, this time when they were doing it, I said that I got a gun. I didn't use it or nothing. I didn't want to use it. Maybe I should have. Maybe that was a mistake. No, I just I try to warn them off, But I think that only made them want to come after me more. And yeah, they rammed into me a few times and crashed into me, and yeah, it hurt a lot. And then I started chasing them back.
Oh, that's not good.
Ask me why, I couldn't really tell you. But I chased them all the way from San Andreas and Elgin, all the way down to the Palomino apartments. Yeah, don't know what I was doing. Then I guess my brain switched back on, and I drove off. And then they kept on chasing me. I managed to el- el- elude let's say, elude them a few times. which gave me a chance to call 911, but then they found me next to Mission Row. Alice called me. Yeah, Alice called me. And told me to come to Mirror Park. So I drove to Mirror Park, being chased by cold criminals, and I got there and there were cops. And there was a cop that was right behind that car full of criminals. That flipped the U-turn and left me to my devices. And then I watched as they pushed me backwards or forwards. I can't really remember. And then the car started filling up with water. I tried the handle. It wouldn't open. I think the seatbelt must have got jammed because I couldn't open it. And then, yeah. And it all goes dark.
Do you have any clue at all who it was that the officer that saw you and flipped a U-turn?
I think it was a scout. I sorry. I understand if you need to read me my Miranda and ask me more questions, because whether it's for DUI or criminal negligence of a firearm or anything, I understand. I will answer your questions honestly.
Rhodes isn't going to interrupt because he knows Richard full well is going to admit.
How many units do we have on duty, Rhodes? Oh god.
Not many, unfortunately.
That's the second time his bank's been robbed today.
6 units, including us. Ideally, I don't want to leave. But also I understand if I have to.
Let me call Jimmy.
um
We'll be fine.
All right.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to read you your rights, but it's just for technicality's sake for now, okay? So at this time, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do cannot be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one will be
Rhodes is
provided
so
by the state
conflicted
if
here.
available. Do you understand your rights?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember anything else that was said that Alice said to you on the phone?
Sorry. Anything else, Alice? What? Sorry. What?
Did Alice say anything else to you on the phone besides just telling you to go to Mirror Park?
She said we have no units. We cannot help you. You're gonna have to run for your life.
God damn it. Okay. You said you had a firearm on you.
Yeah.
Do you still have it?
No. I have a magazine and a couple bucks of ammo that soaked through. But that's it.
So your firearm was taken?
Didn't give it to anybody, so I would have to assume as much.
Firearm taken. Huh?
Do you have the serial number of your firearm?
No.
Why were you drinking?
Hmm. The reality is,
Family problems.
whatever he says, Rhodes isn't gonna stop him, regardless of how bad it gets.
Do you remember how much you had to drink?
Specifically because, regardless of what's said,
No.
Richard is gonna admit to
I
wrongdoing.
mean, I remember ordering at least 2 whiskeys. I don't know whether I had any more than that.
I'm so sorry, Dark. If I was on duty, I would have done things differently. You only recognized McGregor's voice? Did you recognize anybody else in the black car?
I honestly cannot remember. I just the one person's voice I can remember, it's McGregor from Pay World.
Yeah.
Everything after that was just get away from that car, you know?
I understand. I don't think I have any more questions for you right now, Dark. I'm just glad that you made it. Do you have any questions for me?
I wouldn't be surprised if you questioned why he's not being arrested.
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay. I don't believe we've gotten a firearm retrieved that was registered to you. Double check. No, we have not. Which means whoever hasn't been caught with it yet. I will,
Was this the day you got your weapons license?
Yeah.
Okay. Sky, I'm not sure if it's just me, but I can't see his license history to see when that was issued.
I can't see it either, but I know the report, what day it was.
Okay.
Let me pull it up. It would have been the 9th of July. A week ago.
We?
Yeah, it's been a week, Richard.
Sky, are you okay with me documenting his profile? Oh, you got it, actually.
I've got it noted and what report it may be tied to. Alrighty, that's documented. As of right now, I don't think I have anything else to ask you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. If you need anything at all, please, you have my number.
Okay.
Should
Is
I get some? Oh, go ahead.
is Alice doing okay?
I haven't seen Alice in a couple days now. Me and her had a disagreement on actually how she handled your situation, and she's quite unhappy with me, and I haven't seen her since. Yes, mostly for your roads. Have you talked to Flop at all?
Barely.
Is she okay?
He's fine. You'll probably want to talk to him soon, though. I'll let him tell you why. I'm not gonna involve myself in family matters.
All right. I'll reach out to him.
Okay.
Appreciate you, Sky.
I'm gonna go get all of these documented in the report, and I'll let you guys have some time, okay? Let me know if
All right.
either of you need anything.
Will do.
Thank you.
Well, I'm likely in the same boat as Sky. Don't really... I don't like how it was handled. Now, obviously, that's from the outside looking in, but anytime something happened with Remington, Alice would drop everything. And regardless of what the call was, unless people were actively being shot, there's no reason that there were no units available. Last thing that I would expect this police department to say or do is, there's no units, we can't help you, you're gonna have to run for your life. This police department has had 7 months to figure this out. 7 months. And right now, last I checked, we had 6 units on duty. Should be a fucking crime. How are you feeling?
I've felt better.
So Etta did call me and explain what happened. Um, specifically regarding you being in the hospital and there being some damage that can hopefully be, resolved with therapy and whatnot. Um, she did continuously apologize, and then she mentioned Rue, and honey, I'm not gonna lie, I pretty much shut down right there and said I don't want to hear about Rue, not once. And if you can't respect that boundary, hang up. I can't. I can't. And maybe she didn't have the information regarding me being the first person on that scene, or one of the first people on that scene, and I explained that to her. But honey, I'm sorry. I hate that I have to sit there and question whether or not somebody in our family is the person who committed a violent felony. And whether or not I can be involved in whatever investigation exists. And I noticed what you did in that conversation, and I'm not surprised. It's to be expected from you, truthfully. And I'm not going to stop you. I know I should. I'm not going to, because I know the type of person you are. And I know that you are forthcoming with everything you do, especially regarding the law in this case. But I need you to remember that there are much bigger issues to tackle, honey. Don't intentionally push yourself to get arrested. It's not necessary.
As you rightfully say, this PD has had 7 months. I shouldn't have to push anything for them to arrest me.
You're right, but you knew what you were doing when you told her to redo your Miranda rights.
Because I can't sit there and object to the actions of those in our family and then defend myself against, the things that I've done. That would make me a hypocrite. That's the last thing I want to be.
The major difference, though. One is mistake or decision. Bad judgment call on how much you thought you could drink. Right? Because there is an amount you can drink before it's too much, right? And then there's willingly deciding to take somebody's life. And intent is the important aspect. You go on something or into something with the intent to hurt somebody, with the intent to kill somebody, whatever it is. It's far different than drinking to take your mind off things and trying to just distance yourself, have temporary relief from whatever it is going on. And then things getting out of control. Those are two far different things. But I don't know what to say, truthfully. Six units, honey. 6. We have 7 months. And of the 6, me, Sky, are the 2 who were around for the skeleton crew, and Sky was a hire afterwards. Forte, I think, shortly after. Frost, shortly after. And then, Jules and Greenway. So essentially, all the recruitment over the past 7 months has gotten Jules and Greenway. Let that sink in. And it's got nothing to do with money. Apparently we get paid very well at the moment. We can't encourage people to do this job with money. We can't encourage people to do this job on the basis that they're family. We can't even seemingly pretend that we're family at this point. Considering the best that gets you is we have no units, we can't help you. You're going to have to run for your life. If there's one thing, and I know you are going to take responsibility in whatever it is you did. That's just the type of person you are, and I'm never going to attempt to change that about you or dissuade you from doing so. But despite that, regardless of whether or not you made a bad judgment call, whatever that situation was boils down to a complete failure in this police department. You can't tell me that an officer was sitting behind the car that ended up doing this to you, made a U-turn and drove off. Because any competent police officer, after having heard what's going on, is not going to break off from a situation like that. It wouldn't even matter if we had to drag you out of the car and put you in the police car and drag you to another scene with us. There's no excuse for why that happened. I don't know.
I don't know either. Because as much as there's cops like you and Sky and, Sky called me, well, there was a car following me today when I drove from the house to here. Thought that it was Ziggy and Etcha, but I didn't know they were following me. I got confused. And I called the police because I thought it might have been that car again. And Sky called me straight away and asked me where I was, and 5 cop cars turned up. I guess the issue is that Sky is not always going to be around, and you're not always going to be around. It's a consistency thing, and as much as I trust you and cops like you, think what happened to me, and it's not even that I necessarily blame Alice, because I don't think she had bad intentions. I think it was just a failure.
I mean, again, I wasn't present for the situation, but I can't fathom someone like Alice who already had to deal with the fallout of Remington and Madison and breaking off from calls to deal with that. Same thing with Sky. Sky did the exact same thing for Remington. I can't unless truthfully there were no units. I can't I don't know the situation of whichever officer was nearby. Um Genuinely just no idea. I don't know if they were going off duty. I don't know if they were responding to another call. I have no idea. But it truly does boil down to a department-wide failure across the board. We're back in the past 2-3 days. We're back to skeleton crew numbers. And to make matters worse, half the time there's no EMS available.
Yeah.
But we seemingly have an infinite pool of people to pull from who need to be trained, with a lot of time and resources allocated to them, trained by people who are completely burnt out and unwilling to train at the moment. I mean, call me naive, but when Turner was captain, I distinctly recall having a conversation with him and expressing interest in being an FTO. And the reason I did it was because I wanted to contribute to the solution and not the problem. You know, I sat there and I brought up facts. I brought up the numbers, our roster, how disastrous it was, and finally, when there was seemingly a light at the end of the tunnel, when we were told that recruitment's going to happen, interviews are going to be happening, people are going to be coming on, it's like, okay, you know what, I will FTO. And when I found out the way in which we were prioritizing new hires was taking on people with very little experience to immediately burn out the entirety of what little staff we had left, I lost it. I lost all interest right then and there. I had zero desire to be a senior officer, and reason being, I didn't want responsibility. I'll be a run-of-the-mill police officer with zero responsibility above, I'm not going to say the bare minimum because I've never been a bare minimum person, but I don't like where things are, and truthfully, if things don't change here in the next few months, I don't even know if I'm going to be in the police department. There's only so much I can subject myself to day in and day out for years on end and have it go so well. I've seen the tippity top of where a police department can be, and I feel we are at rock bottom at the moment. Thought we were at rock bottom 7 months ago, but when you take into account all the time and effort spent in the past 7 months to train people, to replace people who have left, to train people, to replace people who have left, train people and replace people who've left, crazy. It's insane.
You can only look out for this department for so long before you have to start looking out for yourself. And I think that time's coming.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh my god, have you seen any of the legislation changes?
Yeah, I read them on my Neuralink while I was on my incubator. No, I haven't read any legislation, honey.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Apparently we have some new authority, the state marshals, who are pretty much going to oversee the police department. And I guess sort of take complaints and if anything sort of strays from the norm, whether that be Mission Row being stormed or anything to that extent, they have the ability to seemingly be far more equipped and prepared to deal with situations like that. And do you know who was on duty yesterday?
Oh,
Call sign TBD.
oh,
Kyle Pred. Now, say what you want about Kyle. I know
there's
y'all.
a lot of things I want to say about Kyle.
Mm-hmm. Say what you want about him. There's something he excelled at greatly. And it was something briefly displayed by the mayor or commissioner, which was kind of being the tank for the police department, pointing the police department in the right direction, giving them some directive, giving everyone a common task that we could all work towards collectively in a large group of people, get morale up. Nobody who knew Pred can doubt his ability to keep morale up when it otherwise was pretty much at rock bottom. Didn't matter if it was the tiniest of things. And don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
for some people who do the complete opposite. You catch him on the wrong day. And yeah, was he unhinged? Absolutely. He was. But, and I will openly admit, Pred's a good leader. He also acknowledges, when speaking to the right people, where he lacks. Which is where I came in. Which is where Hall came in. Which is where Angel came in. And everybody else. And,
Sorry, do you know where
no.
Sky is?
I don't. Long story short, honey. He knew his shortcomings.